Hello, hello, welcome back. We're here with Evie, and she's gonna start freedom of the press.
Ah, blast them.
Alec, whatever is the matter?
I have been intercepting nothing but poppycock propaganda about soothing syrup and whatnot. No, I swear to high heavens, if Starrick's monopoly continues...
Alec, I beg your pardon. These are friends of mine. Evie Fry and her brother, Jacob.
Oh, Alexander Graham Bell.
Linguist, inventor, and technical expert. Alec, I have something of a favor to ask you.
Can you fix this? Oh, looks like the casing is cracked. Oh, comes apart. I see. Could have used one of these to fit my fuses on top of Big Ben.
Alec is installing a new telegraph line for our Free Press
To
Association.
combat the Starrick Telegraph Company. Now, if I can mend the fuses connecting independent lines from Big Ben, Starrick will be weakened. Only, we are somewhat at a handicap. And... there. Oh, I've removed the mechanism so it may work with your bracer.
I'll put it to use immediately.
Jacob, wait. Mr. Bell, allow me to help you with your fuses.
Oh, you will not find me too proud to accept Miss Fry. Oh, we can use my carriage if you'd be so good as to hold the reins, though.
I'll take that.
I can help you. Oh, Miss Fry, I am so glad you could assist me. You really ought to be here by now.
Nice. They got the
I
rope
say,
now,
I
so
hope you understood I meant today.
So, Mr. Bell, what inventions are you concocting?
I intend to develop a phonetic telegraph that does not just convey dots and dashes, Miss Fry, but the human voice.
Phonetic telegraph? Sounds a bit of a mouthful. You could just call it a telephone.
I've done it again. Well, Evie has. She's jumped off the carriage. Get the back on.
She can... telephone? How bizarre. Anyway, as I was saying earlier, the press has become entirely dependent on the Starrick Telegraph Company.
Which is why Mr. Green has asked you to set up a free line.
Yes. What is more, other small independent companies have had their lines sabotaged, and they have little means of finding any broken fuses, which are...
To be found on top of Big Ben.
correct, especially as one needs a special government pass to get through the guards.
They will not be a problem. I'll repair the fuses.
Well, well. The twins take a broken device to a close associate of Henry's to be repaired. Now they're gonna install the fuses without going below 30 meters in altitude. We got some tutorial. I think it's the rope launch. Nice. That's what I needed. Whenever the rope launcher icon appears overhead, press L1 to travel upward. If the rope launcher target appears on an adjacent building in front of you, press L1 to zipline across. While ziplining, control your speed using L and R2. You can position yourself over enemies, then press square to drop down for interception. Hold R2 when releasing from the zipline to transition seamlessly into free running. Well, we got some encyclopedia. We got a location, Westminster. Westminster embodies the spirit of affluence in the West End of London. It's the home of the Houses of Parliament and Buckingham Palace. Westminster was the political center of the British Empire making it the political center of much of the world in the 19th century. Big Ben. Charles Barry was hired in 1844 to rebuild the Houses of Parliament, which had burned down 10 years earlier. It was decided the new building should include a clock tower, and Barry enlisted the reputable clockmaker Louis Valmy to design the clock itself. Big Ben is the name commonly used for the entire clock tower, but it was originally the nickname for the largest bell in the tower. The clock tower is now officially known as the Elizabeth Tower, after Queen Elizabeth II, because reasons. The origin of the nickname Big Ben has been boiled down to two theories. The first is that it derives from Sir Benjamin Hall, the portly Commissioner of Works. The other theory is that the nickname comes from the world of boxing. Heavyweight fighters of the time were sometimes called Big Bens, after the heavyweight boxing champion Benjamin Conn. Each clock dial is engraved at its base. The engraving reads in Latin, "O Lord, keep safe our Queen Victoria the First." And then we got some people. Allies. Alexander Graham Bell. Date of birth, March 3rd, 1847. Wow, his birthday anniversary is coming up in a few days. From the day he was born in Edinburgh, Scotland, sound and communication were very important in Alexander Graham Bell's life. His father was a highly respected speech therapist and elocutionist. At the age of 12, young Alex's mother lost her hearing. His father developed a phonetic alphabet aimed at teaching the deaf to speak, while Alec himself learned to communicate with his mother by speaking into the side of her head so she could feel the vibrations of his voice. Rebecca does something similar whenever I try to block her out. The other thing that defined Alec's life was his natural inventiveness. By the time he was a teenager, Bell had already created a system for dehusking wheat. But then I suppose we all do crazy things when we're teenagers. Plus, with the help of his brothers Melville and Edward, he developed an automaton that could speak by blowing air from a bellows while manipulating the machine's lips. The Bell boys were able to get the machine to articulate crude words like mama, and you thought ventriloquism was tough to sit through. Bell's genius was such that he was hired as a pupil teacher of elocution and music at Weston House in Scotland. His family moved to London at around the same time Alec would join them in 1867, after Edward died of tuberculosis. While in London, Alec attended the University of London and worked for his father, providing speech therapy and teaching. His father's phonetic alphabet to the deaf, and it seems crafting nifty gadgets for a pair of assassins. History has managed to document that creepy, bloody automaton, but there's not a word about his interactions with Jacob and Evie Fry, as it should be. Anyway, Alec and his parents moved to Canada in 1870 after Melville, like his brothers, succumbed to tuberculosis. Alec himself was showing symptoms of the disease, but thankfully for all of humankind, he recovered and would go on to invent, among other things, the dumb version of the smartphone. Bell passed away on the 2nd of August, 1922, at the age of 75, when his body was interred 2 days later. Phone traffic was shut down for a minute in his honor. If people weren't crying over Bell's death, shutting down the phone lines would do the trick. ascend tall buildings. Well, zip lining control speed using, yep. Evie's climbing Big Ben, I think, or Queen Elizabeth Tower. And it is 1:30. Hey! Guess she can't throw the rope back. No, Ellie. Stay on this side. Big bell.
Lovely view. What do we got here? Westminster. Houses of
Parliament.